Morning. My name is Rabbi Elbson, and I'm the director of the JWB Jewish Chaplains Council. For over 104 years, JWB's mission has remained the same, and that is to provide a meaningful Jewish life for the men and women who are served in uniform and for their families. So we all know that 2021 was a year unlike any other. The year was different, but our core mission throughout this last year has remained the same. What has changed was how we executed our mission. JWB's mission to provide a meaningful Jewish life for the men and women in the armed forces is really divided into different categories. The first and perhaps the most important thing we do is that we provide direct support for our men and women in uniform. We do that through the publishing and distribution of a very unique prayer book, a Siddur specifically for the men and women in uniform. But this year, we actually were motivated to create an electronic version of that Siddur. Last year's High Holidays also presented a challenge, and JWB very proudly put together, again, an electronic mock store, easy for distribution to our men and women serving overseas. The other thing that JWB does is we create liaison with the Department of Defense, specifically in matters of advocacy for kosher food. As you all know, service members receive kosher battle rations, and they're called MREs, Meals Ready to Eat. JWB was very committed to make sure that we work with the Department of Defense to make sure that despite COVID, kosher meals ready to eat would be available to service members serving overseas and in combat areas, and a special version of the MREs, Meals Ready to Eat, which could be used for our service members during Passover. JWB also supports our service members by not only sending out prayer books and Tanakhs and kosher meals, but even small things like a Havdalah candle or Hanukkah candles and Chanukiot for our service members. JWB is committed to taking care not only of the service members, but of their families also. Beginning last year, JWB began a new initiative of providing Hebrew school for the men and women of the armed forces, for their children. And we did this for the first time ever remotely. We are very proud that we are in partnership with an organization called Shalom Learning, where we created an online Hebrew school for ages K through 12, kindergarten through high school, so that children of our service members, no matter where they are stationed around the world, and no matter what time zone they're in, they could attend a Hebrew school led by either a volunteer teacher or by one of our rabbis. This model was so innovative and so different that the United States Army has now contracted with the JWB to be the sole supplier of Jewish education for the men and women of the United States Army who are Jewish. Another way that JWB fulfills our mission is by helping recruit and support Jewish chaplains in the military. Currently, there are only 37 active duty military rabbis. That's for the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marines. And we could certainly use a lot more. So the Department of Defense has reached out to us to help them get into seminaries and do presentations for rabbinical students about the opportunities that are available to them as military chaplains. But JWB has really gone a step beyond. We have created a very extensive scholarship program for Jewish rabbinical students who want to become Jewish chaplains in the military. This year, JWB proudly gave out over $40,000 in scholarship money to rabbinical students so that when they get ordained, they will come into the service as military chaplains. And finally, I think that 2021 was a year where JWB expanded our partnerships with different organizations. We were very proud this year to be the first Jewish organization in the United States to partner with a new organization called the Arabian Gulf Jewish Communities. This new organization brought together the small Jewish communities in a lot of Arab countries, a lot of the Gulf states, such as Bahrain, Qatar, Dubai, and so on. JWB has partnered with this organization so they can help us provide for a meaningful Jewish life for our service members stationed in these countries in the Middle East. JWB also established a new partnership this year with Hillel, the Jewish campus organization. We found a big hole in support that we provide for Jewish ROTC students going to college. So now with this new partnership, we are working with Hillel, with the Hillels and colleges around the United States to see how we can support these Jewish college students, which will eventually become Jewish service members. And finally, and as always, JWB is very proud of our relationship, our partnership with JWV, the Jewish War Veterans of North America. JWV and us, JWB, together have created some innovative programs to support our veterans and also to remember our veterans. This year, I hope you had a chance to watch our Memorial Day program in which we honored our Jewish Gold Star families. I want to finish where I began, and that is by thanking you, thanking the Federation of Jewish Women for your tremendous support of JWB. Through pandemic, through years of war, through years of peace, with your support, we've been able to fulfill our mission to provide a meaningful Jewish life for the men and women of the armed forces. Thank you.